Good morning. Today we're going to be talking about diets, keto diets, intermittent fasting, and we're going to do that because I've been benched by the doctor. So we'll quickly cover why I'm not on a bike at the moment, which is my favoured place, although the swing seat up on the deck isn't too shabby. It's because I went to see the doctor with high blood pressure and it's really high, and I've been forbidden to ride or do any exercise for the time being. But I'll talk a bit more about that next week if it's still affecting me. I've got to say that I'm pretty cheesed off about the timing. I mean, probably the two most effective ways of countering high blood pressure is weight loss and boatloads of exercise, which is exactly what I had planned. So what I'm going to talk about is my planned diets, not necessarily the one that I might actually get put on by the doctor, which would be a DASH diet designed to lower my high blood pressure. But what I'm hoping to do is a mixture of ketosis and intermittent fasting diets. Now, the ketosis diet, or keto diet, is very fashionable at the moment, and part of the reason for that is because it really works. It's what I used back in 2012 to lose 5 stone. It's what I used at the beginning of this year to lose 2 stone. The trouble, as I've already said, is that I struggle to stay on those diets or to maintain a diet once I get to an ideal weight. So if I can explain what ketosis is, or rather how it seems to work as a diet, what you do is you limit the amount of sugars that your body takes in. Because when your body takes in sugars, insulin is used to store the sugars that aren't used immediately for fuel, and insulin stores those sugars as fat. So why you're fat is because you've eaten too many sugars and it's been stored in your body as fat. So the ketosis diet simply removes those sugars, which includes carbohydrates, so that your body cannot use them as a fuel source, and instead it goes back into this other means of surviving, which is to scavenge your body for fat cells, which it then converts into a fuel for you to use instead of those sugars. Now, there's lots of really great things about ketosis or keto diet, and one is that you can eat an awful lot of stuff which is on other diets completely forbidden. So you can have bacon if you wanted, you could have beef burgers, there's lots of meat involved, but also for other reasons that ketosis does to your body, you actually need to take on additional salt, whereas salt is something that you absolutely must not have for normal diets and for normal health. And because the keto diet has been going for some time already, people have found ways of getting around their carb cravings, which isn't necessarily a carb craving as much as a food associated with carbs. So bread, people like bread. You can get around it by using almond flour to make bread. There's recipes all over the internet to how to do that. Also means you can have pizza. Otherwise, no pizza. No pizza, no bread, no flour products, no beer, no alcohol of any description, no rice, no pasta, no cake. There's lots of things you can't have, but you can have a full English, which is a good thing for me. It's worth noting that many processed foods have added sugars, so you may need to do a lot of your cooking from scratch. So the keto diet works, it's rapid and it's effective. There are certain things that you should take care with. The biggest one of those is a lack of fibre in a lot of the food that you are allowed. So you do need to think about where you can get fibre that doesn't also add carbohydrates into your diet. If you start taking carbohydrates, it stops the ketosis, it stops that process, and it may take some time, hours, days, to get back into that situation that you're already in. So you must try not to have too many carbs, otherwise you'll drop out of this process. These are just a few thoughts on keto diets. If you want to have a proper look, Google is your friend. Google is also your friend if you're interested in intermittent fasting, or IF. It's another popular way of dieting, and it's another very effective way of dieting. It's been around for a lot longer. The famous one was the 5-2 diet, where you ate normally for 5 days of the week, and then on 2 days of the week you fasted, although it wasn't a true fast. It was limiting your intake to 500 calories, which is next to nothing. Now, the thing about intermittent fasting is that it's what the National Health Service of Britain suggests you use if you need to lose weight fast, for example, for an operation. And also, Her Majesty the Queen used to fast, allegedly, 1 day a week. But also, allegedly, she liked to eat salads from Tupperware bowls. I don't think there's a lot of doubt that your body actually benefits from fasting for a while. I've tried up to 3 days of fasting, and I actually felt pretty good after I'd finished. When I was eating it, no, it was actually pretty good. I was surprised. The other thing that surprised me is that I didn't feel hungry, and I don't really understand that. But there you go. What I'm going to be doing is what's called a 16-8 intermittent fasting plan, which means that you fast for 16 hours of the day, and you make sure that your food intake occurs within an 8-hour window. So for me, it's going to be 10 until 6. What that means is that I should be able to get in a ride early in the day, fasted, which makes the most of its benefits, which essentially are the same as the keto diet. Because you are going out for a ride without having eaten, you don't have any sugars that the body can use, and so it looks for fats the same way as the whole point of the keto diet. But also, stopping eating after 6 o'clock is a good thing anyway, because you're unlikely to be doing any heavy exercise at that point, and your body is slowing down, ready for sleep. So if you eat too late, your body is trying to digest that food, and your heart rate is elevated, and it's going to affect your sleep as well. And as we talked about with other things, sleep is absolutely key. But the good news is that if you can stick with keto for 2 to 3 months, you can actually introduce carbs back into your diet, say once a week, in a limited way, say a pizza on a Friday night, because your body can quickly get back into ketosis after it's been in that state for 2 to 3 months. So that if you had a pizza on Friday night, or heaven forbid, some beers, you go for a ride on Saturday morning, and you're fasted, and you're taking yourself straight back into ketosis. So this is something that I wasn't aware of previously. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the way that I can continue with weight loss, or keeping my weight static once I've lost the weight, is going to be through this sort of weekly cheat, which hopefully won't interfere with how my body is actually fueling itself, i.e. on fats. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thanks to Altura for the grey top, and thanks to D2D for this top. They sent them to me for free. I'm going to wear them. They're comfy. It'd be nice if somebody sent me something other than jerseys, but I'm not complaining. Thank you. So it was very much just an introduction to those types of diet that I'm going to try to follow, hopefully, fingers crossed, doctors' orders permitting. And I'm hoping that some of you are going to follow me, judging by the lovely comments and loads of comments that I've been getting with this challenge that and hopefully some of you will be taking up. But until the next one, thanks for watching.